Hi Aries, and welcome to your November 2023 horoscope. 2024 is almost around the corner. Wow, where did time go? For those that are curious about what they can expect for 2024, I have opened 10 spots for a personalized one-on-one reading. We'll jump on a call together. We're going to pull up your chart and we're going to talk about all of the themes that will be coming up for you personally in 2024. There's only 10 spots available, so make sure you grab them while you can. The booking link is down in the description box. On November 2nd, we have Jupiter in your second house opposing the Sun in your eighth house. For the last year, while Jupiter has been in your second house, you may have been a little bit overly focused as to providing for yourself, making sure you're safe and secure and well taken care of. And in that sense, have maybe been missing out or not spending as much time or effort in developing some intimate and deep relationships. So during this time, these two might come head to head and ask you to reconsider the balance. Just a day later, on November 3rd, Venus in your sixth house opposes Neptune in your 12th house. For the last month, you have had Venus traveling through your sixth house and allowing you to start to enjoy and bring some pleasure into your daily routine. And that might come to head with all of the beautiful energy that you've had with Neptune in your 12th house lately, with all of the wonderful dreams, the wonderful explorations and hobbies, perhaps alone hobbies that you've been picking up. And you might find that there's a little bit of a balance that you need to strike between routine, structure, and just letting go of things and going with the flow. Just a day later, on November 4th, Saturn, who is in your 12th house, starts to finally go direct. And he is finally ready to enter Pisces, to enter your 12th house. He will retrograde again, but he will never, at least for a while, he will never enter Aquarius. This symbolizes for you a 2-year period where it's time to clean house with your subconscious. It's time to clean house with all of the deep thoughts and beliefs that you have in your head and to really take a look at which ones are serving you and which ones don't anymore. On the 13th of October, we have a new moon in Scorpio in your 8th house, opposing Uranus in your 2nd house. The new moon, so that's the sun, the moon, is conjunct with Mars in your 8th house. You have been establishing for a while your own individuality, becoming your own human, taking care of yourself, especially when it comes to physical aspects or when it comes to putting together structures that give you self-respect and self-discipline. During this new moon, there's a new start that wants to begin, a new beginning that is actually asking you to drop a little bit of that and to start to merge with other human beings. When we start to focus on sharing, opening ourselves up, and becoming closer to another being, then that can also be really beautiful. Just a couple of days later, on November 17th, the conjunction between the Sun and Mars becomes exact. And actually at the same time, they together trine Neptune in your 12th house. So we see a lot of similar themes coming up for you this month, Aries, with the 2nd house, the 8th house, and the 12th house. And these are really houses where you're looking deep internally. There might not be a lot of physical manifestations out there, but this month it can still be quite intense internally. If during the new moon in Scorpio, just a couple of days before, if you took a step to allow yourself to become intimate and truly naked with another human being, on November 17th, there might be some beautiful effect that this has on your subconscious and on your beliefs. So actually for all of the month, the Sun and Mars are moving pretty much in conjunction the entire month together, separating, coming closer, being exact, and then slowly separating. But they are really doing this dance from Scorpio into Sagittarius together, which is really beautiful. So as they go through the final degrees of Scorpio, ready to enter Sagittarius, they first, on their way out, hit Pluto. So on the 21st, the Sun and Mars are sextiling Pluto in your 10th house. For the last 20 years, you've really been learning what it means to find your purpose and a sense of power in your career and in the image that you project to those around you. So during this month, especially when the Mars and Sun square Pluto from your 8th house, you might find that some of those learnings that you've incorporated in the last 20 years, that you've come across and learned in the last 20 years, can come to aid you in understanding, finally, right before Mars and the Sun move out, to help you finally understand and come to terms as to how you can step more into these energies of the 8th house. On November 23rd, we have the Sun entering Sagittarius, and as it does so, it squares Saturn. And just a day later, on the 24th, Mars enters Sagittarius and also squares Saturn. So for the second part of the month, from the 23rd onwards, we see that your focus and your sense of purpose, the things that light you up, change from wanting an intimate and deep connection with somebody else to going into a little bit more of an exploration, learning, gathering new experiences, new adventures, and finding a sense of meaning through that. Instead of, or earlier in the month, you were finding a sense of meaning and purpose through the intimate relationships that you had. Because the Sun and Mars are squaring Saturn in your 12th house, this could represent a little bit of difficulty. Perhaps the adulting that you're being asked, the growing up that you're being asked to do in terms of your subconscious thoughts and beliefs is holding you back in this time from fully exploring, from fully going out there and traveling and learning and gathering all the things that you want to do. Perhaps you're feeling a little bit down, or perhaps you're really stuck in your head trying to sweep and take care and clean everything internal, that you don't have the energy to really step out into the world. On November 27th, we have a full moon in Gemini in your 3rd house. The Sun and Mars are still close enough with each other to be considered a conjunction. And at the same time, during this full moon, we have Venus conjunct with the South Node. Knowing your larger theme of this month for searching for meaning, I definitely see this full moon as bringing some new information to you, perhaps about your internal belief system. And it could be information that you're getting from close by. This is, after all, happening in your 3rd house, which is about our close surroundings. Perhaps you're getting some type of information from family or neighbors or siblings that reveal to you why you have certain beliefs that you have. And with Venus conjunct the South Node in Libra in your 7th house, it's possible that these new findings that you're learning about are forcing you to shed some of your diplomacy, some of your politeness, and some of your peacemaking, especially in your close relationships. The Venus conjunct South Node only gets more strong as we go along. So up until November 29th, that is when it's exact and when it is the most potent. So overall, Aries, it's a beautiful month for you to do some internal work. I would highly suggest picking up some of the practices that you have that allow you to ground yourself and to take a look at what's happening inside you. Don't forget, I have 10 spots open for readings for the whole year of 2024. We're going to sit down and talk about your personal chart. The booking link is down in the description box. I do these readings every month, so if you want to make sure you catch the next one coming up, then make sure you subscribe. I hope to see you again soon.